with some amazing hospitals that treat our children. If you compare Ohio to the other states, we're per capita, I think, number 2 in the nation. There's some states that don't have any hospitals that are focus on children. So we're very, very blessed by that. Medical research for children is something that I've been focused on for a long, long time. When I was in the United States Senate, I was one of the advocates for increasing our federal funding in this area. And I also teamed up with Senator Chris Dodd, former Senator Chris Dodd from Connecticut, on an issue that was really brought to our attention by hospitals in the state of Ohio. And that is that there were many drugs that were being developed and tested for adults, but that were not tested for children. And what that, of course, meant is that the pediatricians didn't know whether they could really prescribe it or not, and if they were going to prescribe it, what the dosage would be, which meant that in many cases children were not getting the same drugs that have been developed for adults, but that certainly could have been used for children. To make a long story short, we came up with 3 different bills over about a 5-year period of time, and the focus was giving the drug companies an economic incentive to do the testing for children. The reason they were not doing it is just it was too expensive to do it per capita, and they just didn't do it. So we gave them actually what was called a patent term extension on the end of their patent, and gave them a kind of a push to do that, and that resulted in some, a lot of drugs actually being tested for children and that are now being used for children. So it's been an interest of mine for many, many, many years. The announcement today really started with families who came to me, families who had a child who had cancer, child who many times was in remission, but the families really got together and said, look, we need more medical research in this area. And so they came to me and they came to the state legislature. We put in our budget a request to the legislature for money. The legislature approved $5 million in this last budget for medical research here in the state of Ohio. And as I said, we're blessed that we have hospitals that can take this money and that are already doing research, and this money will be additional assistance to them as they move forward in regard to that research. So the legislature, as I said, came back with $5 million. This went to our children's department, Kara Wente, who is here. We had experts help us make those selections and determine how much money was going to go out. And we're here today to announce $1.5 million to the Cleveland Clinic Children's Hospital to do the medical research. Now, I am not the expert on this, so we have the experts here, we have the doctors, and they're going to come up here, but I think we're going to talk. First start with Tom Halovec, who is, of course, the CEO of the Cleveland Clinic. Tom, you want to come on up?
Thank you very much, Governor DeWine. Thank you very much for being here, Dr. Vanderhoof. Always good to see you. We also like to welcome Ms. Kara Wente, Director of Ohio Department of Children and Youth. So, good news. It's really, really good news today. I think we're very grateful for the support. And as our governor mentioned, we're blessed as the state by having an exceptionally good healthcare systems within our states, in particular large children's hospitals that lead the world really in providing superior care for children. And we see some of our dear patients right here in front of us. So, but we're also blessed by having a leadership in the state, and Governor, we would like to thank you personally because of your and France's passion for youth, for children, for their education, as well as for their health. So I know that is very, very close to your heart, and that resonates. it carries the entire state. We here at Cleveland Clinic, we are young in spirit, but we've been around for more than 100 years. And pediatric care has been with us along the way, but a lot has changed in these 100 years. A lot has changed at the Cleveland Clinic, and we have been able to also change the world by the work that we do here in Cleveland, Ohio. You know, we transformed the way that we take care of cardiovascular disease when the first bypass surgery ever was performed here on this very campus. We were the ones to perform one of the first face transplants in the world, the ones that were able to offer patients with Parkinson's a new chance of better and a functional life through deep brain stimulation. And now we are also advancing our cancer care through the efforts that Dr. Tim Chen is about to describe. So there are thousands and thousands of us here at Cleveland Clinic that are united by a single wish and a single purpose in our professional lives, and that is to help our patients and their families through time of struggle and difficulties. There are millions and millions of patients who land to Cleveland, Ohio, when they lose hope. And we are absolutely delighted and very much humbled by the trust that millions of people are placing into Cleveland Clinic. We, as an organization, have one motto, and that is never to say no to people in need. So when people come to Cleveland Clinic, we are here to help. And none of this would be possible if we were not to have exceptional caregivers. It's easy to remember their names. There are only 83,000 of them, around 3 continents and more than 370 locations. But one of truly exceptional ones is right here in front of us. It is Dr. Tim Chen, and I will turn the microphone over to him because just like Governor DeWine, I'm not an expert in this field, believe it or not, but we're glad that we have somebody who is an expert in the field. So Tim, please come on up.
This is really a wonderful event, and I wanted to just start off by thanking the governor and also Dr. Mihaljevic for all their unwavering support. And we're so honored and privileged that the state of Ohio has embarked on this mission to improve the care of pediatric patients and pediatric cancer patients, specifically right here in our home turf. And it really does take a village, and it helps because often the road to better care is long, and innovation is critical for some of the folks, some of our youngest patients who are the most vulnerable, right? It takes the most collaboration and the most innovation to really provide the best care possible. And that's what we really hope for and strive for at the Cleveland Clinic, which is to deliver world-class care for every patient, no matter how hard the circumstances or the level of hope are. So I'll just start off by saying that the program, with that in mind, the program is geared on innovation for diseases such as Ewing sarcoma and this entity called DSRCT, which is a related tumor. Therapy has not changed in over 50 years. And surgery has gotten better, radiation has gotten better, but fundamentally the biology of the disease remains untapped. And you see all around us in this last decade the wonders of immunotherapy that have changed the lives of many individuals. We are living in what is truly a revolution and perhaps a revolutionary time that's not going to come around maybe for another generation. Okay, so now unfortunately, rare tumors and pediatric tumors continue to be not funded as much as the need would imply, as Governor DeWine had mentioned. And so one of the efforts here is to really thoroughly characterize the genome of these Ewing sarcoma entities and to make targeted immunotherapies that specifically train the immune cells to kill Ewing sarcoma cells. And through the collaborative work of the Comprehensive Cancer Center with Gary Schwartz, Dr. Ajay, who leads our Cancer Institute, and Suhaila, who's one of our head scientists, Suhaila Hasgar here, Dr. Pete Anderson, who will run the trial. We've put together a platform that will make, personalized immunotherapies for Ewing sarcoma patients and other pediatric sarcomas here, and provide the best hope. This type of treatment has shown incredible promise in adults already, and we are very happy to make specific changes that are required so that pediatric patients can actually benefit as well. And I'll close basically by saying one other thing is that biomedicine is a major driver of early access to patients for our patients. It really, in cancer that's hard to treat, it really is the best care. Innovation is the best care. Okay, so this is why we do this. But secondarily, it provides a platform right here in Northeast Ohio for innovative engineering of the next generation of immunotherapies, which can be more broadly applicable and beneficial to the whole population at large. So thank you very much, and we really appreciate and are honored by your support. And I'll introduce Dr. Vanderhoff.
Thanks, Doctor.
Well, we've heard a lot about the importance of research and innovation in addressing pediatric cancer, and it is absolutely true. You know, if you stop and just look at what has happened historically, today, more than 80% of the children diagnosed with cancer in Ohio will survive their cancers. Now, if you compare that to as recently as the 1970s, we only saw 20% of our children surviving their cancer. That's a dramatic shift in a relatively short period of time, but it didn't happen by accident. It's happened as a result of real investment in research and innovation and the development of very targeted therapies. But as far as we've come, we of course still have a lot of work to do, and we've just heard some of that work described. And that really is the focus of this $5 million that the state is investing in this pediatric cancer research. And as the governor spoke to, and as the other speakers did as well, Ohio really is a leader in pediatric care for all the reasons that were described. But in addition to that work, you know, there's other work that the state has to do in order to help support and create fertile ground for that work. And so the Ohio Department of Health works very closely, of course, with researchers and medical providers, hospitals in the state, also with the Ohio Department of Children and Youth and other agencies, the National Institutes of Health, and local health departments to support that work, that research, in a variety of ways. One is, you know, sometimes our children and their families fall somewhat through the cracks in terms of being able to access this care. And so we have a complex medical health program that currently is working now with 40,000 individuals in the state that helps with financial resources, sometimes for diagnostic care and sometimes for advanced treatment. We, of course, as we do for so much in healthcare, collect vast amounts of data in partnership with healthcare providers. And that data is instrumental in helping researchers understand the impact of the work they do and new directions for care. And so our Child and Adolescent Cancer in Ohio report, which you can find on our website, is one example of that kind of data repository. And of course, we work in collaboration with many people around the state who care very deeply about this issue. One example is the Ohio Partners for Cancer Control, and with them, we produce the Ohio Comprehensive Cancer Control Plan. And why that's important is because it makes Ohio one of the very few states in the nation with an actual plan that specifically addresses pediatric cancer. A byproduct of that is a now annual conference, our next one will be in May, where we bring people very concerned about this issue together for Ohio's Childhood Cancer Summit each year. So looking at all of this work, look, it's all about trying to make sure that we are allowing more and more of our children to survive childhood cancer and then go on to thrive and achieve their God-given potential. So I want to echo some of the applause or thanks that has been offered to our governor. Make no mistake, this money in the budget is there because Governor DeWine was an undaunted advocate for this landing there, and it is his leadership that resulted in that money being there. And we are, of course, also very grateful to leadership in the Ohio General Assembly who helped make that come about. So with that, I'll turn to Director Wente.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the Department of Children and Youth, I want to say thank you to the governor for his vision, to the Ohio General Assembly for investing and sustaining this $5 million, and to the great partners that are up here with us today. Certainly, it is because of a vision led by our governor that this work is underway, because we all believe that these kids should have an opportunity to be healthy and hopeful as they thrive. The Pediatric Cancer Research Initiative is exactly the kind of work that our department was set up to lead. As the governor said, exceptional pediatric care starts with exceptional research. When we invest in innovation, we're investing in better outcomes, better options, and more time for families to be with their loved ones. Through this project, we worked really closely with the Ohio Department of Health. We recognize that, as others have said up here, we aren't the experts in this space. But we want to be the support. We want to help stand up the infrastructure and build on what they're already leading. So we established a pediatric cancer research work group, which met for the first time yesterday. This work group is made up of clinicians, researchers, data experts, advocates, and most importantly, parents, because we can never forget learning from their journey that they've already went through. The charge of this group is clear. They have to make sure that these dollars remain aligned with the outcome we've set forth, meaningful progress for kids and families. During today's meeting, you heard the Cleveland Clinic speak about the groundbreaking work that they are leading. Our other 4 partners are doing the same. Our opportunities through this investment range from early detection, safer therapies, and new approaches that could change survival for the rarest and most aggressive childhood cancers. For our team at the Department of Children and Youth, this isn't just another grant. It is a commitment. It's a commitment to the families fighting pediatric cancer, to the clinicians and researchers who have devoted their careers to this work, and to a future where every child has a stronger chance to grow up healthy. I can't thank the governor enough for the opportunity to be a part of this work and this innovation that our state is leading, and to our partners who have given up time, not 1 day, but 2 days this week. With that, I am excited to welcome Megan Lalo and her son, Evan, to talk about their cancer journey.
Hello. In November of 2024, our son, Evan, was diagnosed with Ewing sarcoma, a diagnosis we never saw coming, and one that changed our lives forever. Evan is a tri-sport athlete who lives and breathes the sports that he plays. He was always practicing, always competing. So when he came to us in June with a pain in his right shoulder, we naturally attributed it to lacrosse because he was in the peak of his season at the time. We took Evan to physical therapists and orthopedics who all agree it looked like and seemed like rotator cuff tendonitis, and that made perfect sense because of the level of activity that he was currently in. But at the end of October, everything shifted. I picked Evan up from school and he said, "Mom, I couldn't lift a pencil today. I couldn't dribble a basketball." The pain that once sat quietly in his shoulder was now shooting down to his fingers, and radiating up through his neck. And that pain had gone from manageable to absolutely excruciating. At that moment, I knew in my gut something was wrong. An MRI revealed a mass wrapped around the nerves of his C5 and C6 vertebrae. I will absolutely never forget the fear that consumed me. In that instant, our world tilted. Less than 12 hours later, we were sitting in Cleveland Clinic Children's waiting to meet a pediatric oncologist for the very first time. The speed things were moving was alarming, but also in a strange way, relieving, because my mama heart needed answers. I needed to know there was a way to save my child. By mid-November, we heard the words no parent is ever prepared to hear. Localized Ewing sarcoma. Our son has cancer. Watching Evan absorb that news, the weight of it landing on a child who had already lost so much, it broke our hearts. And yet, even in that moment, I felt this instinctive need to take action. Like any mother, I was prepared to fight right alongside him. Our medical team was led by Dr. Matteo Trucco, our mastermind behind Evan's healing. Learning that Ewing sarcoma is rare and aggressive is absolutely terrifying. But I will tell you, we found immediate comfort in knowing that we were in the hands of world-renowned experts in his exact diagnosis. Dr. Trucco guided us with a calmness and steadiness that became the foundation of our hope. And I quickly learned how critical hope is during moments like these. I never once lost it, not even for a moment. Over the next 9 months, Evan faced the unimaginable, the fight of his life for his life. 14 cycles of chemo, more than 70 nights in the hospital, 31 fractions of radiation that caused third-degree burns inside of his body and outside of his body, requiring 5 feeding tubes. 5 surgeries, including a nerve transfer surgery by Dr. Megan Jack that helped restore movement to his arm. Evan missed nearly a year of his childhood, stripped of everything that he loved in life: sports, school, friends, even his hair. And yet, he met every single day with a resilience, strength, and bravery that inspired all of us. He never asked to quit. He never asked, why me? On June 23rd, 2025, Evan rang the bravery bell, a cancer survivor, his greatest victory and our greatest blessing. Today we are living in the after, finding our new normal. Evan is back to school. He's rehabbing his arm. And to our absolute joy, he is back on the football field and on the basketball court, doing what he loves most. Seeing him thrive again has filled our hearts in ways I really can't even put into words. I want to close by thanking everyone who has worked to bring this vaccine to life. You are giving families like ours something precious and priceless, and that is a tangible hope, a kind of hope that you can really hold on to. And everyone facing Ewing sarcoma and other cancers deserve to feel that. So thank you for your time.
Megan, thank you. Evan, thank you very much. Thank you for telling us your amazing story. My understanding is we are going to the next room for the media. So you want to lead them the way? Show them the way? And I'll be with you. I'm following instructions here.
So, Governor, I wanted to introduce you to...
Last time was his first game of the season, so.
Let's get a picture here.
Oh, yes.
kind of come on, so guys, feel free here. Just kind of as we're enjoying a standing picture of the governor here. So get in real close, real tight, don't be shy. Do you guys have either like an extra lapel or are you going to need any statement?
Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't catch any of that. I'm sorry. I think I don't need to use it.
So do you guys have lapel and statement?
I've got both, so I can probably up a lot later on with her.
Whatever you need is totally fine. Awesome. Yep.
We can bring them in as well, or the patient too.
Feel free to get it nice and close. If you guys want to move together, and I'll bring them right in when it's ready. Thank you so much. Oh, sir, I'm so sorry. Excuse me.
I hear about.
And there's some Kirkland. Did you want to talk to them?
I think you guys will do something.
Okay, got some summer.
Yeah.
Take that.
Thank you. You said she's from Kirkland?
Yeah, the family's from Kirkland, Ohio.
Hello. How are you?
How y'all doing? It's cold, huh?
Got this. Yep, just like on his own. I can do it as well.
Yeah, no, here, I'll do
Great. All right, I'll just flip that right here. And you just pack.
I got it. Anybody else?
And I'll put this one right
Yep,
underneath.
yep,
huh?
and I'll take the,
Oops.
I was worried someday that I get so many of these, my pants fall off. I don't know. You know, you get the weight, you know? Huh?
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm good. So
Oh, good to see you.
Happy holidays to you.
Thank you. You too. Maybe if everybody get in a little, yeah, get over a little bit. Yeah, a little tighter here.
Yep, I'm all set. You guys are good to go.
You guys set? Fire away, guys.
I want to thank you for doing this. This is very important. One of the things I think we all need to understand is that children are just little big people. They're children, and you need to be very particular when dealing with them. And I know you have a passion for children. Talk more about why your passion drove these donations.
Well, the sad truth is that this country does not spend enough money on medical research, on medical problems that children have, and that certainly includes cancer. If you take it per capita, we're spending a lot less on kids than we are on adults. And so this is something I care very, very much about. When I was in the United States Congress and the United States Senate, I worked to expand the funding. We are blessed, though, in Ohio with some amazing children's hospitals. The Cleveland Clinic Children's Hospital, where we are at today, just does amazing work. And when you meet with the researchers and the people who do the work that will change lives of children in the future, it's a very heartening thing. So I was approached, a year or so ago, by families of survivors, children who had survived cancer, and they asked me, "Can we put some money in from the state?" And I said, "Yes, I think we can do that." And so I asked the state legislature to do that. They were able to come forward with $5 million. This is the first time this has happened. I hope that in the future the state will be able to continue to do this, because the money is very, very important. We made announcements today about 5 different locations around the state where this money will go. $1.5 million goes right here into Cleveland, goes right into the Children's Hospital here at the Cleveland Clinic. And we know from the researchers we talked to just a moment ago, they do great work, and it pays off. We had the opportunity to see Evan today. Evan is a survivor. He's a survivor because of research that has been done and because of the amazing people here at the Cleveland Clinic.
There was a time in this country that you didn't even want to say the word cancer. It was a C word. And then we look at the results now that 80% of the kids who will come down with cancer can survive versus 20% just a few decades ago. That's monumental. Talk to that.
It's a huge change, and this is what medical research has done. It used to be that you only had a survival rate on average of 20% of children who came down with cancer. Today that number is 80%. And you know, we want to continue to make that progress. You know, when I think about this, I can imagine what if this was one of my children or one of my grandchildren. And for families, you know, they are reliant on great researchers, and the research costs money. We have to be able to invest in this. So this is a significant investment, but we have to continue to do that as we go forward. Anybody else?
I do have one other question, and if nobody else.
Yeah.
How do we help parents appreciate the fact that research is key and to not be afraid of research? Nobody wants their child to be sick or to hurt.
You know, I think this is a case of the experts, the medical professionals talking to families and telling them about the research and why it's important for that research to continue. I think it's the trust that we have in our medical community, the great people here at the Cleveland Clinic who do just amazing work. And I think that relationship with families is so vitally important. You see that when you talk to families, and you see that when you talk to the children. That relationship, their trust, is absolutely essential. No?
Thank you, sir.
This is a question from Lindsay Buckingham, WKYC. What are your thoughts on the CDC Advisory Committee voting to remove the universal recommendation for hepatitis B shot?
Yes, I'm going to ask our Director of Health to come up here. If he'll stand close to me, I'm the person that's wired, so
Okay, very good.
you gotta go there. Why don't you take the question?
Sure. Hepatitis B remains a very, very serious condition. It's a serious illness that causes very serious problems in a person's life if they're infected. The vaccine that we have is very safe, it's very effective, and it has clearly reduced the burden of disease, the number of people the number of infants who are acquiring hepatitis B in infancy. So we are very supportive of the doctor-patient relationship, and we support the value of the conversation between a parent and their physician about all their child's vaccines, including the hepatitis B vaccine. But we would encourage them to consider the benefits of early vaccination in protecting their child with this very effective, very safe vaccine, protecting their child from what is a potentially very serious and lifelong condition.
And by early vaccination, you want to explain that?
Well, we recommend that the parents discuss vaccine at birth. Vaccine at birth has clearly brought about a reduction, a substantial reduction, in the number of children who unfortunately become infected with hepatitis B. And the vaccine, because it is so effective and so safe, we believe offers a very good option for parents to choose with their physician.
Anybody else? We good?
I think we're good. Thank you, Governor.
Thanks, everybody. We'll retrieve your wires here.
This would take some of that weight off you there.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, okay, that's it.
Just the two.
We just got two. Okay.
On the bottom one. And the one with the fuzzy down on it. There we go.
See you all. Thank you. Good to see you.
What stadium? Really hasn't got a stadium. That's not like a stadium? I'm surprised they didn't say that. I know. Okay.